Yo everyone, what's going on? Couriway here, and in this video, I'm going to be reacting to the new 1.16.1 World Record Run by Reignex. This is going to be a bit different than my normal content. Obviously, I don't normally do reaction things, but many people have asked for this. I've already seen this once. I know a lot of the things that happen, but I want to take a closer look at the details of this run, really analyze what's kind of happening here, and give my kind of opinions on it as a whole. I think it's a really amazing run. I obviously think it's legit. I think Reignex is a fantastic runner, and at the time of recording this, it is not currently on the leaderboard, but by the time this is uploaded, it most likely will be. So remember to check out Reignex in the description below. Like I said, fantastic runner, absolutely incredible. Major congratulations to him. And yeah, let's check out this run. We're gonna be watching it with no audio because a part of like the audio he uses is copyrighted, and then he has his own video also doing like a kind of analysis on it, so I'll leave that linked in the description as well. This is the completely unmuted run, or the completely like the Twitch stream, basically. This is the Twitch stream run, and we're gonna be taking a look at it. So without further ado, here we go. I have no idea what to expect. I'm assuming that this is starting something. Save and quit, single player, new world, and here we go. So I know that for anyone that hasn't seen this, I'll let you see. He spawns here, and he gets a pretty poor spawn. You can see he doesn't really see anything at the start. He sees a desert and just instantly goes for a tree. This is a interesting strat, I should say. It's not something that I personally would do. Normally when I'm doing a run, I like to kind of take a look around more before I start committing to things like tools. And he also decides to make a wood pick or wood axe and a wood shovel, which I think is also an interesting strategy that some runners use. Something that is pretty common is a lot of people make wooden axes when they're going for ocean strats, but it's very uncommon in a type of situation like this where you're kind of just roaming in the desert. I guess he's kind of treating this as if the desert is an ocean, which is an interesting way to play, but you know, it works out for him. So I think this is super interesting. I'm personally not a big wood tools person when I speedrun. I like going for stone. I think it's just more efficient, and you don't have to worry about increasing the tools later on. But in the situation that he's in, he's probably playing for a temple and not really thinking about getting like a wood or stone pickaxe to get anything else. And here we go. He sees the village. Cool. So this village actually has two blacksmiths, right? Yeah, there's one to the center, and then there's another one on his right. I think he says in his video that he actually doesn't see the blacksmith on the right, or just doesn't care to go for it because of the way he's routing. I have no idea what's in that chest. Hopefully it was nothing good. Obviously he doesn't need it, but very interesting that he only goes for the one blacksmith here. I think that this ends up paying out for him because he doesn't need to worry about wasting his time going all the way to that second blacksmith. So kudos to him for making a smart play here. I'm curious, the only thing I would have wondered is, I think personally I would have gone to the blacksmith anyway, because I think it's just worth it in case there's obsidian in there. I think the chance of obsidian is just worthwhile compared to anything else. I think that is super worth it. It was something that helped me a lot in my own world record run when bastions weren't as common and people didn't really understand how random travel works, right? So I think that's probably, I still would have checked it. I think it would have been worth it. Also, if you got the iron too, you would have been able to go there and then come back for the golem, because there's not really anything going out of your way. And you may have even had a better vantage point for lava, but regardless, obviously it doesn't end up mattering too much because he's able to still do everything he needs here. And he's going to be able to make his, what is he going to make here? Some more sticks, make a bucket, and then, yeah, he's good to go. So, nice. All right, so he's got everything he needs. He's going to be leaving this village pretty clean. Interesting he takes the apples, probably just going to throw them out, or yeah, just put them in the top of his inventory, not really necessary at all. And now it's lava pool time, so he's got to try and find a lava pool. Pretty smart direction to go this way. You could make an argument that you could go to the right, but it doesn't really make any sense either. You could also make the argument here of going in this cave, something that I probably would have considered. Maybe a bit dodgy. What I probably would have done is I probably would have looked over this hill, and if I saw nothing, but he sees the room portal, I probably would have went in that cave. And I'm sure his thought process was probably somewhat similar. I haven't actually watched his reaction to the run and his kind of talking over, so he might be echoing points that I'm making, but I highly recommend checking that out. Like I said, I'll leave a link in that link to that in the description. Gonna grab gravel here as he needs. Grabs probably too much, but it's fine. He's able to get out of here. Normally, if I see a ruined portal, I only grab like 3 or 4 flint, because a lot of the time you're either going to get a flint and steel or a piece of flint in your inventory. So I think that's maybe like a 5-second time loss, but he gets the flint anyway. It doesn't end up mattering. And this is really interesting. A completable ruined portal. This is really, really good in speedruns, and honestly, isn't that uncommon? There's a lot of times where you can find a completable portal like this. The more rare thing is getting a completable portal and the obsidian, which he's able to do here, actually, which is really nice, and he's able to get gold armor. And the sword, I believe, is... yeah, it's not worth anything. Would have been crazy. If he got, like, a looting sword, that would have been absolutely ridiculous. Entering the Nether at 4 minutes, about 40 seconds ahead of my run, at the exact same point in time, I believe. And he is going to use Quake Pro. This is a strategy. It allows you to see further in the Nether with certain fog, and he's able to find a fortress, which is really, really nice. And he's going to now run. So, quadrant stuff, we've talked about quadrants before. Basically, Reignex is a very experienced runner. He knows that structures can't spawn in the same quadrant, and he can see that the fortress is in a certain quadrant. I missed if he pulled up F3, but sometimes you don't even really need F3 to tell. I'm very reliant on F3. Also, this boat, by the way, is really cool. Boating to the cave instead of just going all the way down. But he knows where the fortress is. He knows that, okay, I need to go an opposite direction from the fortress to find a bastion. And this Nether is super open. It's not the easiest to traverse by any means, but he's able to see a lot and clear a lot of distance here with Quake Pro plus the openness of the Nether. He's able to really see if there's anything close by, and he's kind of getting screwed here. Now is probably the time you want to turn back, especially once you get up here. If you see nothing up here, it's definitely not worth it at all. You could also make the argument of going for a classic run here with the gold that he already has. It could be worthwhile, but a lot of runners like Reignex especially is very Bastion heavy, so I don't blame him for not doing that either. And it's also the riskier strategy. Going for a Bastion is much more consistent. But if you are a runner that's more comfortable with Classic, I usually don't go for Classic unless I have at least a gold block, preferably 2, to even consider it. But that's something I would consider in a run like this. But he's able to find the Bastion. It's right next to the fortress. He wastes, unfortunately, like a minute. I made the comparison to him. I was talking to him about it. Him looking for this Bastion was like me wasting my time looking for a lava pool in my old world record run. So pretty funny how in both my old world record and now his, we both spend like over a minute looking for a structure that was very readily available to us. That would have been a lot easier to see. I guess it's just a trend that's going to keep going forward. But this is actually a treasure bastion. He's going to grab some mushrooms here, probably honestly force of habit because he really doesn't need the food. But he's going to head into this treasure bastion. Treasure bastion is personally my favorite type of bastion. I really enjoy it for a lot of different reasons. I think it is very, very fast. You have to kind of high roll on a treasure bastion. And what high rolling is getting lucky, basically. High rolling means getting lucky. Getting these 2 gold blocks here eliminates a lot of that luck as he almost gets knocked off by a piglin, which would have just killed this run. That would have been awful. And almost also sets the run to easy, which also would have just instantly killed the run. But he's able to get out of there alive. The piglins are going to run to the gold. What he does there, by the way, is he puts that gold piece down because he wants to get that piglin closer so that when he breaks a gold block, that piglin also gets aggroed and comes up here. So that's a really, really smart play from him. And he's going to do this really cool route for treasure that I believe he helped make himself. And it is just phenomenal. It's really similar to a bridge dip route, which I did in the Hermitcraft speedrun that I did as a couple videos ago. I don't know when this video is going out, but very, very similar to that. And that allows him, now the piglins are all in the hole, he doesn't have to worry about getting knocked off or anything, and he's going to be able to grab all these gold blocks and treasure. He gets 3 out of 5, which is about average. And he already has an insane amount of pearls. He gets probably 2 pearl trades and 2 string trades. So he's really set here and gets another gold block in that chest. Uses a piece of gravel, which is a really crazy strategy. Obsidian in here, even more string. And he's looking good. All he needs is pearl trades. He gets the pearl trades and he's out. He doesn't need anything else. He knows he's good to go. That's an insanely fast bastion. Treasure is really good, like I said, for high rolling, getting lucky, and he's able to do that. And he still had probably like at least 2 or 3 more gold blocks on top there if he needed them. But like I said, he was able to be really lucky and get all the trades he needed fast. And that's going to save a bunch of time. Treasure is really, really good for that. And that's why it's personally my favorite bastion. Here is the worst part of the run. Oh no, and he saves it just barely by landing in the right spot. What I mean by the worst part of the run is that is the worst possible thing that can happen. He got really unlucky. What happens with pearl velocity is he was traveling downward. because the block, he was on a block, right? Block was here, and then the ground he was going to was here. So there's a 1 block drop, and he threw the pearl at the exact moment his character was falling down the block, which is extremely, extremely unfortunate, and that kills his pearl velocity, which makes it go a lot lower than he originally anticipated, and that just makes him fall very short. And thankfully, he was able to land on the netherrack below the fortress, because if he didn't land on that, honestly, I don't know if it would have been world record. It would have been very close. He would have probably lost 20-ish seconds there, maybe more, and it's really, really fortunate that he was able to land there, because that would have been a really unfortunate way to lose world record. But he's at the blaze spawner now. He is getting crazy spawn rates at the start here, and is going to get 4 for 4, I believe, and I believe that is 5 for 5. Absolutely insane rod rates. I think this is a good time to note, I've been thinking a lot about like world record runs, like what is really the most important things. Is it the seed you get? Is it how you play your Bastion? Is it hyper modern versus village? Is it things like that? I've come to realize getting a world record run is down to 2 things. It is, what are your blaze rods, and what is your blind travel? It is those 2 things. That is all that matters in a run. Obviously, a great seed helps. Everything else is really important. But the things that separate a world record run compared to an average sub 20 or an average sub 18 even is how fast you get your blaze rods, right? And how far away is the blind travel when you are doing it. He goes for a 7th rod there, doesn't get it, unfortunate, but he makes the really smart call here, decides to leave with 6. Really, really smart play. And he's going to travel here, come out of his portal, and get to work breaking a log. He knows he needs wood. Really smart to just instantly do that, to not forget that you need wood. And then he's going to make his eyes. He's got wood. He's got wool. He's ready to go. He can craft his beds as soon as he gets in the end, and he throws his first eye. Now, he is about 20-ish seconds. I would say like 30 seconds ahead of my pace at the moment. No, like 20 seconds ahead of my pace. He's going to throw pearls here. Instead of in my run where I boat, he's going to throw pearls to kind of get an off angle. And he's going to do this to triangulate and see if he got really lucky and the stronghold is close, which is really, really important in a run like this. He's going to throw his second eye. And right there is when you start losing your mind in a run, because that means, obviously, the eye went backwards. So the stronghold is super, super close. I believe in his video, it was like 100 block stronghold, which is beyond unheard of. 100 blocks is insane. For comparison, my former world record now was 343. So that is a huge difference even. And getting such a insane random travel like that is what makes these runs awesome. He's going to climb up here, going to try and get in the 4-4 area. This is a really smart play. He decides to play it safe, get away from the creeper. He's just going to mine in this wall and start digging down. He is on unreal pace, obviously, at this moment. Doing really, really good, digging down to the stronghold. It does stink that you have to dig down in a mountain biome like this, but he makes the smart play. He knows he just has to do it, doesn't try to find a way around it, doesn't try to think of, you know, what could I do to make this go faster. Just like, okay, I have to deal with this, let's start digging, which is honestly almost every time the right call. There's not really a way you can get around it. It's just sometimes it stinks, right? So he's digging down. You can see his Y still at like 48. Thankfully, this is a really high stronghold. If it was like lower and he had to dig another like 25 blocks, that would have sucked. But now he's in the stronghold at 1220, which is crazy pace. Going to go one way. This is the most linear way that a stronghold can form for a portal room to be. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way in the stronghold, and he has to head back and try and find another way. So there's a lot of ways to route a stronghold. I don't really have enough time to talk about it here, but that is the most common way that a portal room will be. So now he goes to the right. At this point, there's not really a common versus uncommon way. I prefer to go left always because I'm a lefty, but he goes right, doesn't seem to be working out, goes down here after being right originally, finds the portal room, and is going to enter the end at a very, very similar time to the other top 2 runs, mine and Corbanos's, at 12:57, I believe. So for comparison, my run, I think, enters 13:02, and Corbanos's is 12:55, and we all have very similar dragons, and I think it's quite interesting to see the progression of the end dimension in speedrunning. In Corbanos's run, there wasn't a lot to know about one cycle strategies and perching and all that, and in his run it shows because his dragon is a lot slower. In my run, there was a strategy called east-west, which was the most popular at the time. And now Reignex is doing a strategy called north-south, which is going to get him an extremely fast perch as well. He's going to climb up here. It's very similar to normal towering strats on east-west, but north-south is obviously just the direction you're facing. He is currently on the north or south side compared to when you enter, you're on the east or west, right? So he's in the prime spot for the dragon to perch here, getting ready. He is just waiting. She's going to go perch, waiting for the snap, and he has his pearl ready to go. There's the snap, very subtle. Good job by him to notice it. And here's the 1 cycle. That's all he needs. 1. He has 6 beds. 2, 3, 4. Incredibly impressive. To not only 4-bed, but to 4-bed in such an intense moment. Absolutely incredible from Reignex. 14 minutes, 10 seconds. That is an unbelievable run. There's the seed. Like I said, Reignex is an extremely, extremely talented runner. He has been grinding this game for so long. It is extremely well-deserved. Major congratulations from him. I'm going to be trying to beat this run on my own. You can check out twitch.tv/Couriway in the description to see my own world record attempts now as I try to beat my own world record. Or not my own anymore. Sorry, I'm just so used to saying that. As I try to beat Reignex's world record. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to check out Reignex in the description. I'll leave his YouTube, Twitch, and his YouTube video talking about it in the description below. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all next time. Let me know what you thought of this video, by the way. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone. Peace out. Thanks for watching.